Okay, so why don't we just, sorry, those that were on Google, but
Wow.
we're going to have
It's
to,
weird that none of them are. They worked the other night.
okay, let's keep going. Okay, so those are our aims and ventures so that you feel comfortable traveling to other parts of the world. After you do this one, then you'll kind of know a little bit of the ropes. Thanks, Wolf. Oops.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. So just a quick background about what we mean by primate socioecology is being able to recognize what is a social system, becoming really good observers, and understanding the dynamics of how the ecology shapes social behavior. And we will have 4 themes that you will be able to select from, and we will form these 4 theme teams with parenting as being a theme, leadership, cognitive ecology, meaning how to solve the problems of their environment, and commensalism, which is about how the primates interact with humans and whether it's a problem or whether it's a benefit. Okay, so it has a lot of conservation implications. So no matter what your interest is, I think you can fit yourself into one of those areas. We'll be covering a lot of different field methods so that you could build your toolkit for understanding social relationships in the environmental context. So some basic evolutionary principles. We're not assuming anything. We're not assuming that you have any kind of background. So for some of you that have some biological training, this might seem a little bit redundant. For those that have had none, it'll be the first time, but at least we'll all get on the same page. Yeah?
Did you get Laura on Google? She just responded to that.
Yeah, the Google thing's not working. So we're recording. You could tell them that we're recording. We're recording it because it's not working out. And then things like, just how to use binoculars, how to use a compass, how to use a GPS unit. What are they useful for? What is demography? How do you figure out how many animals are there and what's the age, sex classes? So things like that. Okay, go on. And then regarding the global adventure, it's just how to deal with wilderness challenges, how to deal with field logistics, because we keep you in the loop. Things don't always go as they're planned. And so we always have a what? Plan B.
Plan B.
That's
plan
right.
C and D.
Exactly. So how we deal with that is part of what we're not just going to do it in the background. We're going to brief you every day. Okay, we were supposed to do this today, but this happened, and so we can't do that. And then how do we get around it so that you understand the challenges of working in the field.
For wilderness challenges, who here runs? Or does
Just
a
a
lot
little
of-
bit of run.
a lot of
Yeah.
physical
If
activity.
chased.
I need to do some PT sessions.
Okay, well, we will have physical fitness training while we're there. Some of the unique aspects of this field program are we get to see 3 national parks in Rwanda, which is an unusual amount of space devoted to national parks, a large number of primates and biodiversity in this one small area. They are diverse in their ecology. So what I mean by that is there are 3 different locations with not just 3 forests. We're talking about one place is a savanna setting, another is what your typical jungle that you imagine Tarzan would be in, and then another is this high altitude rainforest, Afro-alpine forest. So they're very different in their ecologies, which makes it even more interesting than when you see how the environment affects social systems, because you're going to go to 3 different environments. Yeah. We get to see Dian Fossey's mountain gorillas. There she is down here with Digit. Something that tourists don't get to see. Only researchers can do this. And you are going to Rwanda under our research permit. And so because of that, you are then researchers. You are not tourists, okay? And we will emphasize that over and over again. You are in Rwanda as researchers. So you do get to see Fossey's gorillas. We take a lot of video. The field assistants are doing this all the time, and when there's interesting interactions, we try to review that together, because it's hard. Sometimes things happen very quickly, and you don't know what just happened. So by videotaping it, we can play it back in the evening, have a little popcorn or something, and and discuss it. We really encourage social media. So if you're taking an iPad or something like that, and you want to have a blog or contact people on Facebook, it really is good as things are happening to talk about them. It really adds to your experience. You know, it's a good thing. So if you're interested in starting a blog, we would encourage you to do so. If you don't know how, we can give you pointers on how to do that. And then Superstar's leading the course. Yeah. So where is Rwanda? Can anyone see Rwanda on this map? What color is it? Blue. Oh, never mind. Not blue. Who said what?
It's just a little itty bitty pink one.
Little itty bitty pink. Yeah, the blue is a lake, which is bigger than the whole country of Rwanda. It's Lake Victoria. So that's the location of Rwanda, and it's in a particularly neat spot. Go ahead. Its location puts it at right on the Rift Valley, which is where the continent is really kind of being pulled apart. And because of that, you have one kind of ecology on this east side. That's where you typically see the savannas, you know, Tanzania and Kenya. That's what you think of, those savannas. But then the other side of the rift is where you see the Congo Basin. That's the deep, dark jungle of Africa.
Anybody that knows anything about tectonics, the plates, right, geology. So when she was saying it's being pulled apart, it's because you have two plates, two large plates that come together right here, and as they butt up against each other, right, they do this. So there's been a lot of volcanic activity in this area here. The rift runs right through this red line here, and you have a bunch of lakes that form along that rift as well. That's all part of that historic pushing up of these two tectonic plates. So mountain building, a lot of volcanic activity, and then lakes forming. And that's just as a little side point, but it's kind of interesting. Most of the fossils of our own family, the human family, have come from this region, the Rift Valley region, because of the volcanic deposits, because you can date them, and because of all volcanism brings stuff to the surface. So it's kind of cool. But it also is, as you were just saying, ecologically important, because that kind of rifting creates a very interesting
Diverse landscapes.
landscapes.
So
Exactly
like
right.
even right here, you can see this is a image from the space shuttle of the Virunga area, and those are all volcanoes, and these are even lava flows. So it's volcanically active. Don't worry, Mom and Dad, these are extinct volcanoes where we're going, so no lava there.
Although these are active
Those-
over here, and this is kind of magical. In fact, you can see the lava flows here in purple, and these two guys here, which are on the Congolese side, are active. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you can see them glowing as glowing cinders in the dark. It's really
Yeah.
quite dramatic. It feels like a scene from millions of years ago or something. It's really amazing.
So that's why this location is so diverse. Go ahead. And because of those varying altitudes and different habitats, then you have a huge biodiversity. You have different plants and animals that really all are represented in this one small location, from savanna species to forest species. The other thing that's interesting about this location is that it's also at the crossroads of different ethnic groups in Africa. So you generally have the northern Nilotic tribes that are the cattlemen from the north part of Africa. Then you have the Bantu tribes that are more of the forest, and the Pygmy tribes that are in the forest. And they all really come together right here where Rwanda is. And so you have all of those three groups represented all in Rwanda. So it's very culturally diverse as well. Very interesting. A couple of snippets of what you're going to see and the kind of conditions you'll be in, so that again you'll end challenges and the benefits of being there. Rwanda is a great and a very forward-looking country. They have a democracy. They have a president, Kagame, that's been in power since 18 years now. And they have, as Wendy will tell you, one of the most remarkable records regarding women in leadership roles. Women have a high place in society there. And so if you look at just the number of women in parliament, they have, what's it up to? 56%, the highest number of women in parliament than any other country in the world, including all the Western countries. So you see that there. The next one is Sweden with fewer. So we don't go in and just look at the primates and ignore the culture there. We do want you to experience what it's like to be in that part of the world. So we do have activities that engage you in Rwandan history and culture. So you will go to markets, you'll go to certain museums. There's even Hotel Rwanda, which is lots of different activities that we will do so that you understand the context of your field school.
It's not called Hotel Rwanda, but that was photoshopped in.
Yeah. We don't ignore that a genocide happened here 18 years ago. 19 years? How old are you?
19.
You're 19. 19 years ago it happened. I was home because I was giving birth to him. But we worked there during that time. So we don't ignore it, but we want you to understand it. And so there's a phenomenal museum, a genocide museum there, that to help you understand the Rwandan genocide. How did this happen? And then also genocides all around the world.
Historically.
Yeah. So we'll do that. Then our first stop will be to Akagera National Park. And this is you can see one there up on the left. We camp by the campfire. You will wash your clothes. We do have someone there cooking for us, so you don't need to do that. But it will be a camping situation. If you've never been camping, just let us know, and we have camping experts here that will teach you everything you will need to know. You'll learn how to put up your tent. You'll learn about how to secure your tent, everything you need to know about staying safe in the savannah setting. And I'm pointing this out, too, because your clothing really matters here. Sun is a big issue, so hats are going to be important. Sunscreen is important. Insects, there's certain insects that you'll want to keep away from you, like tsetse flies, which ticks. I haven't really encountered a whole lot of ticks. Have you? You can get them. Yeah, we've seen a couple. But it's not a miserable place to work. Otherwise, we wouldn't be there. To us, we love this park. To us, it looks like Sonoyta. So if you know what Sonoyta, Elgin area looks like, San Rafael Valley, that we love that grasslands ecology, and that's what this looks like, with a huge lake that we look over as we camp. Binoculars, how to take notes on behavior. We have baboons and burbot monkeys there that you will get up close and personal, but there's a whole lot of other wildlife we'll also see.
Tiny giraffe.
Yeah, miniature giraffe, that's cute. The typical savannah animals, an elephant that really needs a date, and Mutwari. And then we'll even go out at night because there is a nocturnal primate that we want to observe as well. That's Casey. Didn't Casey tell you about this? Yeah.
That's the egg eater's name, right?
Yeah, that is not a poisonous snake.
Yeah.
So,
I hate snakes. That's what I'm
we'll also take a ride on that big lake and be able to see from the water, be able to look into the savannah and see primates as well. It's just a beautiful setting, and we want to
Transfer Titanic reenact.
Yes.
Only that part of it.
Nyungwe National Park, which is the jungles of Africa, very big trees, high canopy, steep hills, and this will be challenging, physically challenging. So we start off kind of easy in the savannah, but then once you get to Akagera, you will go on some pretty good hikes, and they are up and down hills.
Start running and hiking now. Because
yes, and
it gets bad.
Yeah. We don't want to scare you, but if you're not prepared, then it makes it miserable. If you are prepared, it's a joy. It's really not that hard. It's a nice hike. But if you're not physically prepared, then it just turns into drudgery.
Well, snake. It's not snakes. Snacks.
Snacks, not snakes.
Not
Snacks.
snakes.
All right, let's see what's next. A bunch of different primates here. These are just a few of them, but it's also the area where they grow Rwanda's teas. They're known throughout the world for their wonderful black tea. So we like to explore kind of the local culture as well. Black and white colobus, lots of different primates. That's okay.
What the heck?
Oops, you're going
I'm
the wrong way.
hearing-
Go back to the
Whoa,
bridge. There we
okay.
go. Yeah.
Some of the other things we'll do, so there's lots of different heights.
I didn't touch it. I swear.
Go back. There we go.
Okay. We'll also do a canopy walk, so if you're really terrified of heights, we'll
do
go
it anyway.
slow.
Anybody terrified of heights? You'll get through it.
No, if you really, 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 really don't want to do it, you
I'm
don't have to
terrified
do
of
it.
heights too. and I've
But
done
yeah,
it
and we've had
a few
people
times now.
really, they do it and they're bawling at the end, but they're so glad that they did it, right?
It's
So
not bad. You know,
It's
you-
not
you
bad,
just
but
see, you
the-
see tops of trees, so you don't even know. You don't even see the ground.
and so the point of that is that a lot of the primates we're seeing in this habitat, are they going to live on the ground or in the trees? In the trees. So what are the challenges of living in the trees? What is that like? And so this gives you a sense of what it's like to live up that high. All right. We will be staying at a research camp. Actually, it's a training camp, training center for all of the national park guards. So when they come to this center and get trained in how to identify birds and things like that. And so we will stay in our own housing units, but then we get to intermingle with them, which is really interesting because these are not usually young whippersnappers. Usually they've been out living in the field for 20 years, and they have really good, interesting observations. That things that they've seen that you'd have to be in the field for 20 years to see these rare events. So we try to interact with them, and they learn from us, and we learn from them. Then the last stop is Volcanoes National Park, and that's this misty equatorial forest. It's on the equator, but it's high in altitude, so then it gets cold. So you're packing for hot in the savannah, lots of sweat in hiking, and cold, all right? And so it's critical, your equipment is going to be critical to stay comfortable. In this setting, we'll go into the volcanoes. Again, it's by the time you're done with Nyungwe hiking, you're ready for the volcanoes hiking. And we'll be watching the golden monkeys and mountain gorillas at this location. Yeah.
How cold do you think it gets? And how hot?
Since we'll be hiking a lot and we'll be constantly moving, so you'll stay pretty warm. But when we stop and rest, it gets maybe 50s.
50s, yeah.
I said like 15.
No.
No.
Oh no.
I mean, at
Oh, no.
night it gets down cold into the 40s, but during the day it'll be in the 50s, and that doesn't sound so cold. But if you're wet with sweat, and then you sit and you have to watch, and you're not moving anymore, you get very cold quickly, and so you have to be aware of
You're
that.
hiking around at 10,000 feet. That's why it's so cool.
Yeah. So we will also go visit Karasoke, which was Dian Fossey's camp, and her grave site there, as well as the gorilla graveyard. There's a whole lot of more information that you can find on the website, but we thought that would give you just a rough idea of what you're going to see, and I mean, you'll see a lot more, but what you're going to encounter in terms of the equipment that you're going to need to take, okay? So now what I thought we'd do is go to the, okay, let me get out of here, is go through that document that we sent around and go section by section, and if you have questions, just shoot away. So let me open that up. Okay, field school.
So anybody have questions on the camping equipment or gear?
You wanna? Well, don't
You wanna
skip
bring a
ahead.
you
Don't
wanna
skip
bring a
ahead.
normal towel. Just
Yeah, hold on. One thing at a time. There's so much to cover that
nasty.
it will be confusing if we just Okay, here we go. Oops. Come on. Let me just make it a little smaller. Hold on a second. Okay. That's pretty good, right? There we go. Okay, so we already went through the. I'm going to sit here so I can scroll down. Unless Wolf, can you scroll this down?
Gotcha.
Okay. See, you're going to be look up there.
Oh.
So maybe you could even just use this. You know, the down arrow. Does that work? Oh, there we go. Yeah, just use the down arrow so that you can go a little bit at a time. Okay. So.
I can't.
Oh,
really
here.
scroll up.
You know what? Stop for a second. I'll do this. Ooh, it's tiny. There. Okay, so go down. So starting with any questions, as I said, you have our cell phones. You also have Kendra Corey is the study abroad coordinator for Africa. And have you been in contact with her at all? Okay, so she's your other best friend, okay?
One point though about the Rwanda phone number, that's going to be different because that depends on what you
No,
what you get.
no, that's
Where'd you
our,
get that from?
that is our Rwanda phone number. It's always the same. We have the same chip. So that stays the same, that doesn't change.
Yeah, if we're using the same chip, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, the way cell phones work is we're really at a disadvantage in this country. We think that you have a cell phone and it's a Verizon phone, and you can only use it for Verizon, and the phone will die if you go off Verizon, and it's terrible. But the way it works in the rest of the world is that you have a cell phone and you insert a chip, and that chip could be for Verizon or it could be for AT&T or whatever the coverage
It's a
is.
SIM card.
It's called a SIM card, exactly. And you just buy a SIM card for whatever cellular system you want to use.
But the only way for that to work is you have to get an unlocked phone. Like AT&T and Verizon, you can't get it because
Right.
they locked the
So-
Or buy a local phone.
So here's the problem. When you buy a phone in the US, they are locked, meaning they will not allow you to put your own SIM cards in. This is the only country that does that. In every other country, if you buy the same phone, it's considered unlocked. It's a lot more expensive, but it's unlocked, and you can use different SIM cards. Okay? So what we would recommend is that even though you may have a cell phone already, you can buy cell phones in most parts of the world for $10 to $15. Just a little rinky-dink cell phone that you can then put in your own SIM cards. Okay? And then after you put in a SIM card, you just buy minutes as you need them. You go to someone and there's a little shop and they'll send you a little card. They'll sell you a little credit card. You scratch off the number, you enter it in your phone, and boom, you have 30 minutes of time. Okay, and it's way cheaper as well. So this is one of those things to learn about traveling. We've tried using the international rates from our AT&T or from. And we usually spend probably $1,000. It's not worth it. And we're very careful, okay? Because then the data package goes on, it goes off, and it's a mess. And we've tried it many times, and we can never get it just right. So we've given up on using our U.S. phones when we leave the U.S. We use an international phone, okay? And you can get them once you leave, you can get them anywhere. I would wait till you get to Rwanda. We'll take you to a little shop. Like I said, we're talking about $15 maybe for a little phone. And then we'll show you how to buy a little SIM chip, and we'll take you through those steps. And then you will have the ability to call mom and dad, anybody you want, without a problem for 23 cents a minute or something like that. Really cheap.
But do take your cell phones because there are many places that we will be in where you have free Wi-Fi. So you can still use Wi-Fi because that's cost-free to you.
Right, if you have a Wi-Fi enabled
Exactly.
phone or an iPad or something like that.
So take them if you have that.
And that's why we were saying we encourage the multimedia. If we try to get you to Wi-Fi spots every so often, so that you can check in with your friends or on Facebook or your blog or whatever it is.
And also for texting, because text, if you buy a text package, it's usually very cheap. So you can text very cheaply. And those little cell phones that you buy for $10, they're not really that text capable. So I would
Yeah, they're the old,
recommend
the old. You have to put,
using-
yeah.
So if you've got a good phone, take it with you because you can use it for text and you can use it for Wi-Fi.
Texts are like 25 cents a text.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
So
Relatively cheap.
yeah. So that's another way. And communication's really important. You don't want your friends or your family to worry. You want to be checking in as you like, and it just makes everyone comfortable to do that. Okay. So regarding flights, what has anyone had any problems finding flights? You may not have purchased it. I mean, hopefully you are. I mean, we're at a good time to purchase it now. So hopefully you found that.
Who's not purchased theirs yet?
Okay, and you're starting to look into it now.
Yeah.
That you're looking at. Okay, some folks have gotten really good prices. I've been impressed. Some really good prices. So that's good. Again, you know how to sign into the itineraries spreadsheet so that you can check where everybody else is going. No, that's okay. All right, let's go down. That's just flight information. Just keep going. Just the airport advice. Please read that when you do check your luggage. A lot of people get their luggage tags and really don't keep track of them. Keep track of them, because if worst case scenario happens and you need to claim your luggage and someone else might be claiming it, you need to prove that it's yours. Okay. Also, if you're traveling either in groups or alone, I mean, I love when you travel in groups because then one person can kind of be at, create a base where they watch all the stuff and someone else can walk around and look for a bathroom or something. It's just always handy to do that. But even if you're traveling alone, it's not big, bad, dangerous world out there. They're really, so long as you follow these precautions and you ask questions, you go to personnel that work at the airport and don't just ask one person. Okay, ask multiple people, and when you converge on the same answer, that's probably the right answer. Okay, because that's happened before. Some airports are more confusing than other. I just put in a little note. If you're going through Addis Ababa, that can be a little bit more confusing. But again, if you're just asking how to get through it, it's less confusing.
Security's really easy though.
Security is a little too easy. Kigali Airport is a wonderful small airport. It's very close to where we're staying. If you're getting there early and you want to take your own taxi to the hotel, they're well-regulated taxis. No one's going to rip you off. They're not going to take you to the wrong place or take you a long way around. Very trustworthy. There's a big campaign in Rwanda to stop corruption. Actually, they haven't started. They just want to prevent all corruption. And so they have very strict rules about park entries, about all aspects of life there. So we find it very safe, and if you're traveling alone and you need to take a taxi, it's very easy to do that.
The other thing is, if you share your itineraries with us so that we know when you're all arriving or each of you is arriving, then we can send
the hotel bus.
The hotel bus to come get you. And they'll have a big sign that says Shelando. That's free. You don't have to pay.
And one of us will go in there to get you
Yeah,
guys.
usually
Exactly.
we're there to pick you up. But if
Exactly.
for some reason you're getting there early, way early, then we'll do that. Okay, let's keep going down. Health and safety. We do have scheduled a travel clinic. Is anyone going to that travel clinic? You're planning. Okay. I would go even if you're not going to get your immunizations there. It's good information. So they'll give a presentation, maybe 30 minutes to an hour long, about how to stay safe in terms of just health. How to stay clean, what things you should be looking out for, all those kinds of things. It's just good information to have, and they provide that here at U of A. So we've set that up, and I sent that around in an email. I can't remember the date offhand, but
May 2nd.
May 2nd, okay. All right. You do have insurance that is covered through your study abroad fee, and it's actually really good insurance. So feel confident that if something goes way, way wrong, you've got insurance. I think it covers AirVac, it covers, a lot of stuff. And it covers you 3 days before you get there and 3 days afterwards. So all your transit time and everything. It even covers lost baggage, everything you could think of. So it's very good insurance, and they get a really good rate for you. So that's already taken care of and included. You will get a message from HTH Insurance, should be going to you directly to your email, where they'll send you like a little insurance card or instructions on how to print your insurance card. You want to carry that with your passport, have that on you at all times. The only required immunization is yellow fever, and then there's others that might be suggested or recommended, and that they'll go over that at the travel clinic. I would probably have your tetanus, make sure that that's up to date. You do not need rabies. I saw that on Facebook. No rabies. But the other consideration is malaria. So malaria is not a big problem there, but if you're only going someplace for a short period of time, it's worth taking anti-malaria medication. If you're going someplace to live there for 2 years, then I wouldn't take malaria continuously, anti-malarials for 2 years.
What was that
But
one?
for a short period, you want to take anti-malaria medication.
There's one that you shouldn't take that makes you hallucinate. That's not good.
That's right, and we don't recommend that one.
Don't take that one.
We
It's bad.
recommend, I have it on here. You know what? We'll get to it when we get to the immunizations. Yeah.
Oh, is it up on the healthcare one?
It's down further,
Is
but
that-
no, it's okay. We'll get to it when we get to all the first
Okay.
aids.
Malarone is the one we recommend.
Malaro?
Malarone.
It's a daily.
Yeah. There's another one.
There's one that
Mefloquine.
That's the Mefloquine is the one you probably don't want to take.
yeah, you get
You
like
take
really
it weekly and
get messed up dreams, and it's like
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's not as good. Anyway, most doctors I think recommend Malarone now.
Yeah. So baggage is another issue. You will be allowed to take one carry-on, and that will be your day pack that you will use. You will become best friends with this. So something like this is a good day pack. It's not so big that it becomes unbearably heavy to carry, but then it also has places for 2 water bottles. You want to be able to carry 2 big water bottles, and then plenty of room inside for the equipment that we'll tell you about. Good padding on the back here. This also is really handy, especially us girls. I'll tell you why. Because when you put this on, it goes onto your hips, and it takes a lot of the weight off of your shoulders. All right, so when you clip it on. So look for a day pack, but that has the hip straps.
And a lot of water bottle room because you can't drink the tap water. You
Yeah.
get water bottles.
Yeah.
So do you fill up the water bottles before we leave?
Yeah.
Or do
No.
you filter it in there?
No. Well, as you travel, do not have any liquid in these water bottles, okay? Because no liquid is allowed through security. Once you get to Rwanda, we'll only be drinking either bottled water, or if we run out of bottled water,
Aquamira.
Aquamira, which is a purifier. And you will each bring some. I mean, we have Aquamira, but we're setting you up with a kit of things to bring that you will use for the rest of your life for wherever you go. So Aquamira is one of the things we'll go over on the list. So if we run out of good bottled water, we haven't ever yet, but if we do, you're prepared.
So just 2 bottles.
2 empty water bottles, yeah.
That are not just like plastic, that are.
No, I would get metal.
Yeah.
Nalgene
And
gives
also,
you cancer.
I would not recommend. I would recommend against any of the kind that have tubes going down them because it's very hard to clean. Get whatever is the easiest to
Except
clean.
that filtering one, that one's pretty cool.
The filtering
the
one's
Camelback
cool.
one, that one's awesome.
Yeah, the thing is the cleaning of them is really hard. So something like this, very easy to clean. You can put a little soap and water in there. You're going to be cleaning it every couple of days. Puncture proof, yeah, ding proof. So that's really handy.
And then would you get this backpack at just like a camping store?
Yes, any camping store. Again, I would look for the ability to have 2 water bottles. And what I really like about these that have the pouches is that when you're going through bush, if you have a water bottle sitting out, it'll get hooked on something. So having these that go into a little pouch on the side.
I know North Face has a whole bunch of good backpacks.
Yeah, this one's Kelly. North Face makes some really good backpacks.
Kelty.
Kelty, yeah.
But yeah, Summit Hut or REI, even Big Five to some extent.
Yeah.
In town, those good places.
Yeah, and don't, like I said, if you
Columbia.
just look for some of the key things, don't worry about whether they're the best, brand. The key things are a good structure on the back, good padding on the lower back, this thing to go over your hips, and those water
You're gonna
bottles.
want the hip things.
This
I promise.
backpack is 25 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's like new, doesn't it?
So yeah, again, a lot of the equipment that you're buying now, whatever you do, whether it's just going for a fun weekend, this is stuff you can use 25 years later. Regarding baggage, so you will be able to take this as your personal bag on board. You could carry, I think, one personal or something for ladies. You can do a purse and a personal. And then one bag that you check, so one suitcase. And that suitcase is going to be regular size suitcase, but it has to be usually within 50 pounds. That's about the limit.
We recommend some kind of flexible.
Not a hard
yeah,
one
because that way it's a little easier
to pack.
on a bus and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no hard ones.
Yeah.
Lufthansa's website says 2.
Exactly. But we don't have room in a
Yeah,
bus
okay.
for 2.
Just-
So that was my next point. Yes, you might have, depending on your airline, they might allow you 2 free bags, but there won't be enough room
I
for
would
you to
not
have 2 free
recommend.
bags.
I would not recommend a duffel bag either, because when we go camping, you're not going to be able to find anything. You don't want to dump all that stuff on the ground either.
Yeah, duffel
So-
bag is kind of not really nice.
It's not really good. If it has like organization, that's way better.
Yeah, so that's one of those big suitcases. And if you already have one, that's fine. If you're looking to buy one, actually go pick it up. You'll see that some are already heavy, and that means less stuff for you to put in it because it has to be 50 pounds. So weigh it, stand on a scale, subtract your weight, and see how much it weighs.
But
But
also, since we're washing clothes, you don't have to pack that much. Just be careful about what you pack, and pack things that are easy to dry and so on. We'll go through that a little bit, but I just wanted to mention that when we're in Akagera, you'll be washing your own clothes, but in the hotels, they have a washing service. It's very reasonably priced, so you can have it washed once we are in town in one of the hotels.
So
We
like
generally
four,
just
4
have
days,
laundry
like 4
days.
days of clothes is like a lot.
right, so you'll go 4 days, and then we'll probably have a laundry day. We really encourage you to kind of wash your own because you don't want to have to wait for them to
And
do
they
your
lose stuff.
laundry, but it's an option.
You don't have to pack a lot of clothes.
That's right. Think of packing for like a week because you
Yeah.
will have time to then wash after a week.
Right.
Right?
Do we need to bring our own soup?
Soup?
Soap.
Oh.
Soup.
They have soap.
Favorite soup? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to.
You don't need to bring. If you have, you can
Hotels
buy.
provide soaps.
Yeah, the hotels provide soaps. My rule of thumb is always pack what you think you're going to need.
Are
Okay,
we
And-
using the
in-
solar showers?
including, yeah.
Okay.
So including, we will have some laundry soap, but we prefer to use biodegradable. You can't get that in country. You can buy a small thing of biodegradable soap, biodegradable laundry detergent. So that's handy to have. If you end up not bringing something, we could probably get it, either from our own supplies or something like that. But I generally try to have my own little soap, because you never know. The hotel could run out of soap that week. You just never know. You need to be prepared. Okay.
Yeah, but some of that stuff you can buy locally too.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to find most brands of soap and things like that. It's not a big
Rwandan brands of soap.
toothpaste.
German, you get a lot of German brands.
They're
Yeah.
American brands. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Plastic bags. I know there was a big in the news a couple of years ago. They banned all plastic bags in Rwanda, and what that means is really for trade and for groceries, they no longer have plastic bags. Yay!
Ziploc bags.
So-
are good,
But you can bring in Ziploc bags for your own personal effects, and that's really handy for organizing your toiletries or whatever.
though. I would also recommend a trash bag. One or 5 trash bags to put inside your backpack to make it waterproof.
You mean like the big black?
Like the big
the
black
big
trash
leaf
bags,
bags?
like a leaf bag, like a hefty one, because it makes your stuff waterproof when you go up into the rainforest and stuff.
So what Wolf likes to do is he'll put a big leaf bag in here and then pack all of his stuff inside of it, and that means everything is really completely waterproof. No
Yeah,
matter.
so if you get like really wet up there, you can change into dry clothes and you'll stay warmer.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So travel wallet. It is handy to have those ones that go under your shirt. You know,
Handy.
have you seen those travel belts where you can keep money and things under your shirt? Those are handy. I always carry a little kind of a fanny pack. You always laugh when I say that. It's a little, I don't know what else to call it. It's a fanny pack. Because I always need to have passport, I always need to have a notebook and pen and everything handy at all times. So those are always
And
useful.
keep it on you, don't,
Yeah.
and
you
not
just-
in your back pocket.
Yeah, don't put stuff in your pockets. Even on the field pack, it's very safe where we are, but again, you don't want to even become a target, even in airports. If you have a main compartment like this, or where you have valuables, I would put a little lock on it. You know, those TSA locks that are little combination locks. They're handy, and you can just lock something like this if that's where you're going to keep your iPad or something like that.
Money, cash.
Cash goes on me.
Cash goes on.
Cash goes on me.
Not
Under
the-
here.
Well, their cash doesn't go on you.
So that brings us to the extra money. You do want to bring enough to buy all those souvenirs.
Swords.
No swords. There's really wonderful crafts from Rwanda, and some of them are very packable. And by the end, you will probably want to bring
Giraffe.
some. And we do
Giraffes.
give time.
Wooden giraffes.
Little giraffes. We do give time for shopping because that's part of the experience is to go into the market and
Nice
experience.
cloth.
Very beautiful cloth.
And they
that
have
we
them
like
all
so.
too. And you got,
Yeah,
like,
they have like
have
a
them
real
all.
shopping mall. That's never happened before, so that's really interesting. There are ATMs in Kigali. Again, this I love this country. We could be on a dirt street, and I know where there's an ATM on that street. So
Don't they have one in Ruin Gary too?
they have
Yeah,
one
sure.
so in a couple of towns that we'll be stopping in. If you need more money, you can use an ATM. Your ATM will spit out Rwandan money, obviously, and you'll be charged a small fee, like a 1% fee. It's really not bad at all. We do that a lot. We prefer you bring your own cash because you don't want to be hindered by I got to get to an ATM, but we're doing this. We will have maybe 2 opportunities during the field school to hit an ATM, 2 or 3. So try to bring cash.
But it means there's backup.
There's backup, right? We always try to have backup. I have in the money up there somewhere. I think I said you need money bills that are after 2006. Did I say that somewhere? Yeah. Newer than 2006. They won't even accept anything older than 2006. So when you go to the bank and get some money, specify that they have to be after 2006. Okay. $20 increments is good. Do they give you better rates for bigger bills? I can't remember. I think they do.
For the newer the bill, the better rates you get.
Yeah, you actually get a better exchange rate the newer the bill. But I don't remember if they give you a better exchange rate if the bill is larger. So you could do 20s and 50s and you'll be fine. Okay. Passports and visas. Hopefully you all have passports by now. I think that was required as part of the process.
You don't have to have a visa. You already know that.
If you're an American
If you're
citizen,
American,
you don't have to have a visa. Is everyone an American? Yeah. Okay.
you don't need a visa.
We have students from all over the world. So in this case, if you're an American, there's a nice partnership between the U.S. and Rwanda, and that's why you don't need a visa to Rwanda because there's an economic partnership. They welcome people from America in Other countries, they have to get a little visa. Not a big deal. When you get into the country, the first thing you'll do is it'll look like you're getting a visa, but you just actually fill out, a card saying what you're doing there. So you'll see that at the airport. We won't be there because we'll be, down at the bottom of the airport. But as soon as you get in, you'll see a bunch of people grabbing cards and filling them out. You just fill it out, and they stamp your passport.
And they may hand it to you in the airplane too.
Right.
So they did
Sometimes
Lufthansa.
they'll hand it to you in advance while you're about to land or something. So, the Smart Traveler program, that's probably worth doing. We do advise everyone to do that. All that is that you register with the American consulate, the embassy, and so then if anything goes wrong in the world and you need to be evacuated or something, then the American government knows where you are, and they make sure that you get out safely.
Send SEAL Team 6.
So it's like registering where you are as an American citizen abroad. America is still there to protect you no matter where you are, but they need to know where you are. So if you do register, then they will be sure and make sure that you get out safely. Again, these are things that no matter where you go, you should do this, whatever country you go to. So now regarding the medical stuff, as I said, we have our campus health nurse that is in charge of travel immunizations, Amy Dierenfeld, and you're always welcome to call her if you have questions as well. But we will go through all these possible immunizations during that travel clinic. The only one that is really absolutely required is the yellow fever. That generally runs around $95. Okay, the others, we recommend tetanus. You probably have gotten it, but you need to make sure that you're in that booster. You've been boosted. Cholera, you don't need to get, is a worthless vaccine, and they don't even give it anymore. Hepatitis A and hepatitis B, that's up to you. You can decide whether you want to do hepatitis B. That's again, they'll describe what's the prevalence of hepatitis B, and typhoid likewise. They'll tell you if it's a high prevalence and if they recommend it and things like that. Yeah.
Shots like the yellow fever. Do our insurances cover that, or?
It depends on your insurance. And it's not clear to me why some do and why some don't. We've had different insurances, and some will cover it and some don't. So that's worth asking about. Right. If you do it through U of A, they basically give you the shot at cost. So they give you, it's a very good deal when they do it. They're not trying to make money out of it. There's the information about malaria. Malarone is what we like to use. Again, some insurance covers the cost of the anti-malarias and some doesn't. We've had it both ways, right? We've had it both ways. Know that you will start taking your malaria medication before you arrive, because you already want to build up that medication in your system before you arrive. There's not a big prevalence of malaria in Rwanda. They really had a big campaign to eliminate malaria, and so it's required that every bed has a net over it already. They go around and they make sure that they drain all stagnant ponds so that mosquitoes can't breed. I mean, they really put a lot of effort into eliminating malaria. But you want to be safe rather than sorry. We like that you take any antibiotics or cold medications.
By the way, the Malarone is pretty expensive. If your insurance doesn't cover it, it can be pretty costly. It's like $40 a pill.
Jeez.
I mean, it's ungodly expensive. And I wanted to mention that because there are some reasonably effective antibiotics that you can take instead. Doxycycline being one. You take one pill a day, it's like 100 milligrams. And that's like 50 cents a pill.
Yeah, and we've done that.
Yeah.
We've done that.
Since there isn't much malaria in the country anyway, doxycycline, I did that last summer. I just did doxycycline. And a couple of other students did doxycycline as well. Talk to your physician about it, obviously. I'm not a physician, but I know from experience that that's pretty effective as well. And if you're in that position where, geez, you know, my insurance doesn't cover it, and I don't have $400 to pay
Yeah.
for Malaro, you know, you can talk to your physician and see what he or she thinks about the alternative.
We should put that in there. I don't think we have that. About the
Yeah,
doxycycline.
yeah.
Well, I think we discovered that last year. It's a good
No, I
alternative.
don't.
Okay.
I've known
Well,
that for a while.
anyway, would you just remember to
Yeah.
we'll add it to here. So here's the other thing. So obviously bring the medications that you normally take, but getting a cold is a really big challenge out there. You do not want to get a cold, and if you get a cold, you want to get over it quickly. Because if you have a cold, then we tend to try to isolate you
Quarantine.
in the sense quarantine you
Quarantine
so that you don't spread the cold because so that's not fun.
You know, stay
But
in
then you
quarantine.
also miss field days, and every day there's something cool going on. And then lastly, if you have a cold, you cannot go see gorillas. You will have to stay home. So it's really important that, in fact, while you're on the airplane, you're very careful. If there's someone coughing,
You still
get
have
away from them.
Airborne? Is airborne still?
Airborne, we've used that. I mean, we use
Face
anything that can
masks.
possibly work. Face
Face
masks,
masks.
I mean, seriously, I mean, I carry one in case if there's someone really
Yeah.
sick on an airplane, it's going to everybody because they recirculate the air. So if there's someone really sick, we carry a face mask just in case,
Absolutely. Don't take the chance.
Yeah. And then also know that when we're in country for a month, and the reason for that is that you can't even go to these research gorillas unless you've been in quarantine, in country for 3 weeks, meaning that you're in country so they know you haven't contracted some strange disease on an airplane. That's why you can't even go to gorillas until you've been there for 3 weeks, all right? So that's why we go to gorillas at the very end. After exactly the day you've been there 3 weeks, we start going to gorillas. But if you happen to be ill during that time, you're not going to gorillas. We've never had anyone stay and not go to gorillas because we've been very careful. They've learned how to become very cautious about staying well, getting lots of sleep, making sure that you don't get cold, washing your
You're
hands,
starting to feel
hand
sick.
sanitizer.
It's like sleep.
Yeah. If you start feeling sick, you take care of it rather than, I would rather you stay home when you start feeling sick and then you cut it off early rather than missing 4 days in the field.
Anybody have allergy problems, hay fever type?
Mm.
Do you take something for it?
I take Zyrtec.
Yes.
If they
I
if they
take the cheap knockoff brand.
Yes, we
Well,
do
it's the
too.
same-
Yeah,
It's the same stuff.
same stuff.
'cause if they
That's
see
fine.
you
Bring
like
that.
sneezing and stuff, they'll be like,
That's-
"Oh, he
that's
no
what I
go."
take as well.
Yeah,
So
bring that.
yeah, just in case. And then the other thing that works pretty well is the Zicam spray. You might buy a little bottle of that. It's about $4 or $5, I think, but it's worth having because if you get like a little itchy throat, you think you might be coming down with something, you spray a few times a day. Usually
It's
knocks
a
it
zinc.
out if
It's
you
a
catch
zinc
it early.
spray, and
It's
we know
really-
that's one of the few things that have
It's
evidence that it
It's actually
works.
good scientific evidence that it works.
It's called Zicam.
It's the zinc.
Note to self: someone, Caitlin, since you're taking notes,
Yeah.
have us add the
Zicam.
Doxycycline.
Doxy,
Doxycycline.
and Zicam to this
Okay.
list. Yeah. Okay.
By the
HIV
way, by the way, if you're wondering why you can't be sick and not go to gorillas, you can't be sick to go to gorillas because they can catch what you have. That's the problem.
And they don't have the immune system that we have. They're not used to getting these kinds of viruses, and it could spread like wildfire, and you could kill the entire gorilla population.
You'll be famous, but not for a good reason.
Yeah.
Infamous.
Yeah, infamous, exactly. So they're very, very careful about that. They are, and we are too. We just won't let you go if that's the case. AIDS, you might have heard of AIDS being a big problem in Africa. Again, there's no risk if you are not having sexual contact. So
In Akagera, on the snake part, and hippos and stuff, just watch where you step because there's a crazy dude in Akagera named Kenny who catches crazy snakes all the time, and he catches some poisonous ones sometimes. So just watch
So
where
we're-
you step.
We have very strict policies when we're in Akagera in particular, walking around out there, very strict about walking in groups, keeping an eye on each other, informing people where they can walk and where they shouldn't walk. So
And we're mainly
very-
on roads
very
anyway.
careful.
But
Yeah.
Never had a problem. Don't
Yeah.
anticipate we will. But we're very careful. We have really, you just have to watch protocol.
Right. We are strict about if people don't watch protocol, we'll send you home.
Yeah.
And we almost did that one year. Hey, you're military police, so you're going to be our police officer, okay?
I got you. I got you.
All right, keep going. So food. Do we have anyone that has any kind of food allergies or food restrictions or anything like that?
I have a slight peanut allergy.
Okay.
I just get stomach ache.
Okay. So just to keep that aware,
Yeah.
because then I mean we eat lots of beans and eggs and
I'm pretty
vegetables.
good about watching out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's only
That's
like
good.
an hour or two stomach ache.
Oh, that's that. Then
It's
you're
pretty
fine.
mild. I'm not too
Mm.
concerned.
That's
about
sad because they have some of the most wonderful peanut butter in the world.
And in Noonquay,
But-
you're gonna want all the peanut butter you get. 'Cause
Yeah.
their breakfast is terrible.
But we do, what works well is just bring your favorite snack, some nuts or a trail mix or Cliff Bars or something high energy
Energy
snacks.
bars.
So
That's
last
what we did
year,
last
I
time.
noticed a lot of the students had these liquid packages of things. Right?
Gatorade?
Goo.
That had goo, they had mixes of high energy stuff in them. You can probably get almond butter if you're not allergic to almond butter.
Yeah.
That's pretty high energy stuff. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. But look for some of these little packages because they store easily. You can take them with
Yeah,
you.
they're very small and
Exactly.
very, yeah.
They're going to
I
weigh
think they're
them.
called goo or something, right?
Cliff Bars were
Oh,
like
I wasn't
3
there.
pounds
I don't know.
each, I think.
Uh,
Make a
Yeah.
bunch of those and you're overweight.
But if you go to like, Big Five or any of these outdoor stores, they have these little packets. It's usually carbohydrates and some other vitamins and stuff in there.
Protein, carb stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So having
pretty good.
snacks is good. We will have good food. We will have big breakfast. We will have a good lunch, and we will definitely have a good dinner. But in between, you'll get hungry because we're hiking.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff you can't buy in Rwanda. You can't buy like
Yeah.
Cliff Bars or energy
Yeah.
bars. They just don't seem to have that stuff there. So if
So-
you like that,
so-
bring it.
A good little, medicine kit, have that. A good food kit, have that. And then fitness, we will do some fitness out there. We'll start some fitness here. As I said, we'll have 2 hikes. One up to, who's the expert of going up to Tumamoc Hill? Is that you that goes up there? She's like hiking like crazy, man. So we're going to do,
I want to have fun, like you said. So I'm like,
yeah, that's good. So you've been getting in shape.
Good.
So we'll do a Tumamoc Hill together, and then you'll have to figure out a good
4-mile
hike.
run.
No, you'll have to figure out a good hike up Mount Lemmon because that's a higher altitude, and you want to see how your body reacts to higher altitude too. Okay, but just get on. Running is good, but even a Stairmaster, because that's actually doing the movement you'll be doing, which right, going uphill. So that's a good cross training as well. All right, keep going. Okay, so now we get to the equipment. The first 2 big things that, if you're going to invest any money, is invest in binoculars and hiking boots. Right? Binoculars, you can get a decent pair of binoculars for $200, thereabouts. Great binoculars are $2,000.
Are those yours?
Yeah.
Ah, those are nice.
Love them. And I got them as a gift, so I didn't
Oh
even
my
buy them. So the binoculars, and I didn't put them. Did I put them up here? Yeah, these Nikon Monarchs. I like those a lot. $225. They might even be less now. But there's a variety. Try to get like a Nikon Monarch. You can get cheaper binoculars, but then you're not going to be able to see crisp, clear images through them. And we'll be looking up. And
We've had for 40 years. Those are
If you have night vision, bring them.
like year-old.
Yeah.
mine, those are Minoltas. Those are not cheap. I've had them since 1984.
And those are waterproof.
Yes, they are. That's right. Yeah. So binoculars are a good thing to invest in, and then hiking boots. You want something that is really comfortable. You're going to be living in them, and you want to break them in before you go, if you can. Like on these hikes, start exercising in them. I love what they issued. What this guy gets from the military store. They're really
High speed.
lightweight, really good ankle support. I mean, they weigh like nothing.
Yeah,
And
these-
You can get them online.
I got 'em online. There's like a-
or Miller's Outpost might have some of those. You know.
some of the stuff at Miller.
We
Absolutely.
we
That's a good
love
place to go
Miller's.
shopping.
If you
So-
anything,
Good
any military
prices
store,
there.
they will have above and beyond what you need. I promise. Because I'm bringing above and beyond what I need.
Yeah, you can't look too militaristic though, because we don't want to go into another country looking like the military. Okay, so, but the other thing is go to like Summit Hut or REI and try different ones on. Even if you're not going to buy there, at least try them on because they can really tell you how to fit your foot. All right, and it's just good to figure that out. I don't know if they have those. You know, what's the
Optimas?
other one?
These are
What-
Optimas.
Those
They're,
are What are the other ones that we like? What are they called?
Rocky.
Rockies are really good. Rockies.
Okay,
and
we need to add
Optimas.
that to the list
Yeah,
too.
ROCKY.
Mine were 110.
Which is a hiking boot is going to cost
That's
that much.
Ultima.
And yeah,
Alt-
that's cheap. There's some that are like
Ultima's a-
240.
yeah, Ultima.
These are some of the best ones.
Those, you can get the stuff online. Just look up Ultima boots or Rocky boots.
Yeah,
you know.
but you want to, if there's a place where you can try them on
Well,
and see
yeah, of
what
course.
size you want and all that stuff.
That's why I mentioned
So
Miller's.
Ultima
I think
and
Miller's might have
Rockies.
some of
Yeah.
it.
I bet they do because it's a military grade stuff.
But you don't need to have waterproof boots because we're going during the dry season. And you can always spray them, like the ones he has. You can spray them a little bit so they're nicely water resistant.
And if you do get if you do get the waterproof ones, I mean, you're gonna have a lot of problem with blisters because
Yeah,
It's-
you
it'll-
sweat.
You'll sweat. I mean, these they have little ventilation
vents,
on
yeah.
them. That's what you want.
You want
That's
to have
really
something
good.
that's really comfortable to walk in. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Good ankle support and comfortable. So a lightweight boot
Yeah.
that's water resistant and repellent.
Look,
Gives you good ankle support.
see this ankle?
comfortable
Look at
walking,
this.
that's
This
what you
this
want.
ankle is wrapped up to here, so it's not only ankle support, but you'll have your pants tucked in, and
Yeah.
ants won't go up.
Ants are an issue in rural forests. Yeah.
They'll be doing a
Um,
nice little dance.
The other thing is that these have a lot of good support on the bottom, and they have a steel toe, which is nice. And this ankle support is good when you're in the volcanoes because you are slipping and sliding.
And
on
they're
it.
So the
fireproof.
ankle support.
Yeah,
Very
and
important.
so there is a spray. I think it's just called.
I don't
It's a
know.
silicone
It's just
spray.
like I don't know.
You'll
it
see
says
wherever
like
you buy
waterproof
any
spray.
kind of
Spray.
boots, it'll be a water repellent spray that you put on there. So that'll, and then you could use them here. They are desert boots. Yeah,
Probably a good idea to break them in first.
absolutely.
Yes.
Do the hiking here.
Yeah,
before you
recommend
go.
before you
Try
go.
to use them in room.
Pain.
You're-
That's right.
You're
A lot of
absolutely
pain.
correct. Yeah.
So break them in.
And,
Yeah.
and you might want to, there's, I don't know if most of you are familiar, but if you get blisters,
Moleskin.
Moleskin
That's-
Vaseline is really effective to stop early blistering from getting worse or even blisters from forming.
And that's in our
wearing-
first aid kit.
It's all
Yeah.
in there?
We have Vaseline. We have Moleskin.
Yeah. So the first two things, as I said, binoculars, hiking boots. That's good. Then you have your 2 water bottles. You will want those. You do need to bring a sleeping bag and pad. So the pad there's a variety of types of pad. There's the blow-up kind, or there's the thick foam kind. Remember that you are trying to pack stuff into one suitcase. So whatever is the smallest. A lot of sleeping bags have good thermal protection and pack into something quite small. I think if you're looking at sleeping bags, it doesn't need to go below 50.
Yeah, 40 max. That's
40 or
45,
50.
yeah.
But I
That's
mean,
so
light-
when you look
light
at sleeping
sleep.
bags, they'll
It's
grade
40,
them
yeah.
by how warm they are.
it's 40 or 50 when you look at it. That's when you're dressed warmly. Though. That's not if you are like wearing like
Yeah,
boxers
you need
and a
to.
T-shirt.
I wear
Like that's
long
like with a beanie
johns
and like
and-
long johns. So.
yeah. At night I'll wear like long johns and a long sleeve undershirt like this that's thermal, and a hat, a beanie, because that's where most of your heat is going. It's out of your head, so just cover your head.
Yeah, a nice woolen beanie is great.
Yeah,
Or it doesn't have to be wool.
not
some of
wool,
this
no,
stuff-
the microfiber.
Microfiber, yeah, that's pretty good.
Really nice. So let's keep going. So the sleeping bag and pad. you don't bring a pillow. You could just use your clothes as a pillow, but bring a pillowcase to stuff your clothes in, and that's your pillow.
Or you could use just your rucksack or backpack for a pillow.
Or sleep
Right.
on your backpack, or sleep on your saddle if you're a cowboy. Okay. Let's see.
Or you could
A
also use your
watch?
laundry bag.
This is important. A watch with seconds, because we do time behaviors. So we love Iron Man. Do you have an Iron Man on? We love that particular kind of watch. You don't have to get that kind of watch. These are like $30.
Yeah.
But if you're a runner, they're handy. But they have a start and stop. They have a countdown return, which is the unique feature about Ironmans, meaning that we'll take, for example, every 1 minute you have to write down what the animal is doing. Well, those watches, they'll beep every minute on the minute. Okay, so that's handy. Or if it just has if it's a regular digital watch, then you'll just have to keep track. Watch that.
G-Shock is also
minute.
good.
So is it okay if we do a stopwatch instead?
You can, but then you have to stop and start.
Okay.
So that's a pain. So it's easier to just watch a digital watch and say every minute on the minute I'm going to
Yeah,
record.
and you'll get tired after pressing that button.
Yeah,
Because you do
the
it for a long time.
stopwatch doesn't work. Yeah. Okay. It's handy to have a cloth grocery bag. You've seen that you take groceries to the market. It's just for packing lunches or things like that. That's your little lunch bag that you can put into your backpack. A headlamp, necessary. You can get expensive ones, or you can get.
I don't think we
20
brought one.
Yeah, I did.
We did?
Here. I will. Remind me to put the brand. I figured out an awesome brand of headlamps. These are not them, but they are extremely bright and wonderful. But this is like $20 at the most.
You got that at REI.
They have a variety of settings. Especially, I love having the red because it's when you're if it's dark at night and you are dark at night. And you wake up and you turn on a really super bright light, it just blinds you. But if you turn on a red light, you can still see and it's not blinding you. So that's handy, a little red light. Okay? So just a little headlamp. You will use that a lot.
What's the brand that you said?
I will put it up there. I saw a student bring it last year and I wrote it down. So just remind me on your list. Headlamp. Yeah, headlamp.
And usually ordering online is cheaper than going to REI. I'm just saying. Because REI is really, really
REI,
expensive
yeah.
when it comes to headlamps. I mean, other stuff they have usually pretty good deals, but
Yeah, and
for
That's a
headlamps.
sale. Yeah.
there's a sale every year at REI the first week of June. Every year. So,
There's some little flashlights around LED, they clip onto the rim of the hat. Is that okay?
it's okay, but if you have it already, use that. Then use them. You don't need to go get specialty equipment. You can, so long as it doesn't fall off.
It's pretty sturdy and it clips out to the
Good. If she's going to be wearing a hat at night, that's good. If you wear a lot of times you wear a beanie at night because it's cold. So if it can hook onto a beanie, like clip it onto a beanie or something, that'll work. The clip-ons are nice too because you can clip them onto your tent so that you can see what you're doing. That's also good. All right, what's next?
Sunglasses.
Sunglasses. Be sure and bring sunglasses,
Ray-Bans,
UVA and
please.
UVB protection. We are at high altitude and we are in a lot of sun, so you want to protect your eyes. It doesn't have to be Oakley's, Wolf. It doesn't have to be, Ray-Ban. Just make sure that they're UVA, UVB.
Yeah, and they
You can
sell
get
they
those
sell
at a lot
pretty
of different
nice
places.
sunglasses there too for pretty cheap. And also they might get destroyed. There's a possibility because I went through like 4 pairs last time I went.
Yeah, no, again, you don't have to get top of the line stuff. Just get, and I'll always tell you ways to cut costs because we have to do this every year, and we're not looking to spend thousands of dollars every
A
year.
lot of $12 sunglasses
Have UVA,
and
UVB.
protection.
That's right.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah, just get stylish ones.
You should
Uh,
look, Fabio.
A field notebook is required, something small, a 4x7, usually about that big, is as big as you need. I tend to use this size because I know it fits in my field pockets, it's a
If you
small
can get
size.
like grease or wax paper, that's good too. Because if you get it wet, it's
That's
no
right.
bueno.
Ride in the Rain, I have to protect mine because it's not waterproof. But Ride in the Rain is a kind of notebook that you can get it wet and nothing happens to it. So a small notebook, that's your field notebook. A compass, we'll be using that. A USB or a thumb drive because you will be writing daily journals. You'll be typing daily journals either on your own computer if you decide to bring it, or on our field computers. We will bring field computers if you don't want to bring your own. Small travel size laundry detergent. And then just the usual toiletries that you will need. Face cleaning cloths are wonderful. Just buy a big thick packet of those. You will clean your body. Okay. Because sometimes you're just too freaking tired to take a shower. So you just want to use that and you'll stay nice and fresh. A camp towel, don't bring a regular towel, it won't dry. Camp towel is one of these kind of quick dry.
It's like a
It's small, like a ShamWow, yeah. It's small, but this will absorb everything. When you take a shower, this is all you need.
This is just for the week of camping in
Nah.
Akagera.
Yeah, it's not a chamois. It's a quick dry. This one's quite old.
A ShamWow
actually.
will work though. It's kind of the same thing.
Let's see. What
If you bring a
else?
ShamWow, I'll be very happy. I've never seen one
Toiletries,
in real life.
sunscreen. Oh, good sunscreen, mosquito repellent. We found that we don't like putting a lot of chemicals on our skin. There are some shirts that you can buy that already have mosquito repellent in it. But what seems to work pretty well are these little off fans that you buy that clip on. They actually work really well.
Yeah.
And so just buy some refills. We had a student buy like 70 refills. That's way too much. But I think if you bought maybe 8 refills, they are expensive. 8 refills, so 4 packets. They come in 2 packets. That should be enough. And a few batteries. You can get, you can get batteries there. I'm trying to reduce your weight. Remember that whole suitcase has to be 50 pounds. Your sleeping bag, your pad, everything. It can
You
work
could also put heavier things in
Yeah,
your backpack.
yeah.
You know,
when you're packing. There's
to carry on backpack.
there is a weight limit on carry-on.
Yeah, I know.
15, sometimes 28
But
pounds.
it's another way to
But
divide
just
things.
another way to distribute, yeah. So this is your little first aid kit. And again, you just need a little bit of stuff. You don't need, and you just want to always have your own first aid kit. It's something that once you put this together, you just always have it for the rest of your
We'll
life.
have
forever.
a first aid kit with us that has
Sutures
enough
and
for
everything
minor,
else.
minor surgery in it. Just, appendectomies.
He's
things
good
like
at that. He used to do surgery on
Tension
monkeys,
pneumothorax.
so he can do that. So, yeah, and he's got some medical skills now too. So,
Yes.
He's taking a wilderness first responder intense
Knowles-
class,
Knowles course, yeah.
Knowles class in May. So we'll have even more training among us.
And I'm a
a
certified
whiffer.
combat medic.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
That's
we're,
good
we're
stuff
first
too.
aid certified, all of us are, but I'm a surgeon, so we're on that.
Excellent binoculars, what power?
I think I put
40
the power
40 by 45, I think. Or 20 by
No,
45.
No, it's an 8 or 10.
8 by 30 or 8 by 32. Yeah, yeah,
I'm just making it up.
yeah. It says on the sheet. It should say there, does it? Yeah.
It does say on the sheet.
Okay, and the reason why really good binoculars are worthwhile is that if there's plenty of light, like in the savannah, then any optics will work. It's when you get into forest or darker areas and you try to look up at something in the forest and the optics are poor, if they don't let in enough light and you can't see anything. So that's what you're paying for, are good quality optics that let in a lot of light. Okay. Motion sickness, you may not think that you get motion sickness. For some reason, a lot of people find out that they get motion sickness on a bus.
Yeah, if you stay on the bus long enough,
So-
you'll get it.
We will have some motion sickness. So we have some motions. We always bring it with us. But if you feel like you might
Maybe,
be...
get off the bus.
No, motion sickness. No. If you think that might be an issue traveling on a bus or something,
We'll give you the
then
window
try to
seat.
bring something for motion sickness. Or on a boat. We are on taking a boat ride. But you could go through that. I don't think there's anything super surprising. The biggest thing, I don't think it's on here, but duct tape or Gorilla Tape. It's on there. That's a must-have. And they sell.
Paracord's
You
good.
don't bring a whole giant roll because that's heavy. They sell in camping stores like mini flat rolls for a small amount of it. Or if you have duct tape, make yourself a small roll. That's flat. It is worth it to have duct tape or Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape's even better.
Also, paracord is good because if you want to hang up your clothes, like in your hotel or whatever,
Laundry
it's
for
good.
laundry. Well, I think that's coming up next. So I don't think there's anything surprising there. The clothing. So the trick for the clothing is layers. Layers. Always have multiple layers because you can always take off and put on. And for the Savannah, it'll be cold in the mornings and in the evenings, and then hot during the day. And hot meaning in the low 80s. We're not talking night, Tucson hot. It's low 80s. So, first of all, hats. Go find yourself a good stylish hat. Look at Dieter's stylish hat. Miller's Outpost, best place, by the way. Have like 70 different hats. But something that you can pack flat, that breathes, and that just protects all the way around and is windproof, so that has a stampede string on it. Okay, that's what you need to look for, but protection all the way around is what's key. For Savannah, let me go through the Savannah stuff first.
I got my hat at Costco. They have like sales on them.
They
It's
do?
like a boonie hat or whatever.
Yeah, Booney's
And
good.
it's like has 50% SPF.
Already, good.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
It's like $20 or $15.
That's good. So Costco sounds like a place right now. Maybe not next week, but right now.
But you have to buy 300 of them.
Yeah, 300 of them. Breathable holes
Yeah.
obviously is really good. But so you'll be living with that hat. Then you would want some kind of an undershirt. These are all the way from super expensive REI to Target. Target and Walmart they've gotten into a lot of the athletic wear now. So look
Quick
for
dry, yeah.
like
Good stuff.
Dry Star or
Yeah.
something. It'll say Wicks Away or Quick Dry or something like that.
Perfect
fairly
nice
cheap.
stuff.
Works fine. You don't need to spend for REI. An REI shirt is going to cost you. Here's one right here. This will cost you $20-$30. I think we got it. We only go to REI on the sale week, by the way, and we got it on sale there. But perfectly good stuff. Target or Walmart, you can have. I noticed we were at Target. They have a lot of the
$5
really
or $6 at Target.
very good. Yeah.
And it's perfectly good stuff.
Yeah. Some of them, I don't know why, but this was one. Here's the problem. If you get, and I can't tell you which ones do it. Buy one, go hiking in it. If it stinks like crazy, don't buy that again and take it back. Because for some reason, some blends, and it's not consistent. Some blends, I don't sweat very much, hardly at all. And there's some shirts that if I wear, I can't even stand my own smell because it's like wearing plastic, okay? And you can't breathe, and it just is really, really uncomfortable. So, but we found Target stuff to be pretty good. So you'll want an undershirt. This is a really good one too. I think this was Walmart or something. So they're all quick dry. These things you wash, you hang them up the next morning, they're dry. So an
Dry in
undershirt.
a couple hours.
Yeah. Then you want a long sleeve overshirt. This is worth spending some money on. These are REIs. We definitely buy these at REI because these are worth spending money on. They have vents in them like this.
Stop
So
me
that
from
they
getting
can-
sunburned.
And they stop, you want to cover your arms so that you don't get sunburn, and your neck if you don't wear a fully covered hat. Lots of pockets and whatnot, and again, vents everywhere, and these dry very quickly. So you want,
Big Five might have those too.
I've never liked Big
No?
Five. They never have good stuff. But so an undershirt, an overshirt, and then you'll want something in the mornings or in the evenings. You want something on top of that. Okay, so something like this is a fleece, like
A good fleece is really handy.
this one. See, you don't get those you can buy a fleece, but it's going to take this much room. These are like travel fleeces. They're much thinner. You can come up and check them out. I had this one for
They're
10
great
years.
at night and they're great early in the morning.
Right, and they don't get super stinky, and they dry fast if you need to wash them. But they pack really slimly, so you could fold that and it's not too thick. All right. So you want to bring at least one of those. So that's just for the Savannah. And then for the because it gets cold at night, I do sleep in long johns, and as I said, I'll sleep in like that fleece or something like that, right?
You know, you get cold easy.
I get cold easy, I do. That's okay.
If you have
For
a-
sleeping
if you have a
wear,
comfy
I also
sleeping
use
bag,
this, for example. You can buy, again, this is like a Walmart for something to sleep in.
sure, you
Isn't
can
that
wear
pretty?
it.
Here's what to look for. It can't be cotton. This is polyester, but it feels like cotton. It feels nice on you. So this, I could sleep in this. These are my pajamas, my jams. But I can wash these, and they'll be dry by the next day too. So I usually carry some other. For where in Kigali it's hotter at night, so you can wear that. Okay.
I got something like that too.
Yeah, but your flowers are pink. The other thing is I love this. Some kind of a vest. Is this one's netted on the back? Is it?
No,
it's
one has a
not.
pocket in the
I
back.
couldn't find one that was netted on the back. It lets more air in if it's netted on the back. But it has 1,000 pockets, and I pack this once with all the stuff I need, and I never have to worry about losing stuff. I know my notebook goes in here, my camera goes in here, every GPS goes there. I think I still have sunglasses, everything.
Yeah.
There's my
Compass.
compass. There's everything is in here, and when I take it off, I just put it down, and I don't lose anything. All right. So we really like a vest. You will get one of these patches, so you can sew it on. And you can get these vests at like
Fishing vest.
It's a fishing vest
Yeah.
essentially. The outdoor, what's that place?
Big Five.
No,
The
one
big one.
about-
Sportsman.
Sportsman's Warehouse. That's a good place.
Yeah, Sportsman's Warehouse.
You know, by on
By
Ina.
Costco, by
You know the Costco on Ina, way over there. There's a huge Sportsman's Warehouse.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of good
It's a
stuff
pretty
there.
good store.
Yeah, but that's where you can get good fishing vests. So are we going down? Quick
Uh,
dry shirts. So we're
The
recommending.
Sportsman's, if you're going out there, Sportsman's Warehouse is also good for other stuff like boots. They've got
Yeah.
a good line of boots and just all this outdoor stuff. And good prices.
Yeah, they're pretty decent prices. Okay, so a swimsuit, we will only go swimming once. So if you feel like you want to go swimming that day and want to bring a swimsuit, go ahead. If we have had people, you could go sit by the pool and not go swimming, and then you don't have to pack your swimsuit. So it's up to you. Whether you want to bring a swimsuit. Sun hat, gloves. You do need gloves because when we're up in the volcanoes, there's stinging nettles everywhere, and it really hurts.
Mechanics are really good gloves. The military use those.
Oh, really?
They're
So I got
nice.
these like Kmart or
That's
something, or again,
They're really good.
they're fairly cheap. It's the thickness on the outer part that really matters right here, because that's where the nettles get. That's where you get the nettles. Get nettled.
You also have to hold on to vegetation off and pull yourself out.
Exactly, and you don't want to have to grab
Keep
something and go,
yourself
oh!
Keep yourself from sliding. They
Yes.
put you some thorns on it, so it's just really good idea generally.
Okay,
Do we
so
take off gaiters? Do we not wear gaiters?
we don't need to wear gaiters because it's not
Yeah.
wet.
It's
It's
not
not.
wet.
So that was the top. So that we're let me go in order here. So we did the Savannah. The other part is pants. So even though it's going to be fairly warm, you don't want to wear shorts. Really, you're just going to expose yourself to tsetse flies and things and ants and things like that. And you're walking through the brush, and then you just get cut up by the grass. So field pants is the way to go. These I love these. These are really easy. I can wash them and they'll dry the next day. These are North Face. Some people like the zip-offs. Because then around camp, if you want to just be in shorts, then you can zip them off. and you can have shorts. I really don't like the zip-offs because I don't like that. I don't like the way it feels when I'm hiking. You know, I don't like that zipper right there. But I do carry one of them around just in case. So those are pants. You can bring, like I said, one pair of shorts for hanging out, either in your hotel room or hanging out in camp or something. But generally, women don't wear shorts in Rwanda. Women dress
In
very
town.
nicely in town. They dress pretty professionally, either long slacks or the traditional women's outfit. Rwandan women wear long skirts, go down all the way to their ankles.
No Daisy Dukes.
No Daisy
No Daisy
Dukes.
Dukes.
No. So we tried. Europeans and stuff go through there with that kind of clothing, and that's just not what we want to represent when we're in Rwanda. We want to be respectful of their culture. So I generally wear. If I wear pants in the city, I'll wear long slacks or I'll wear a long skirt.
But
And in the field, generally pants. Okay. I do. While you are in Kigali, is a modern city. If you want to bring something to dress like a non-field person, you can get any kind of dress like this that is of some kind of polyester or something that, I think I got this at a secondhand store or something. It's just the material that matters. So it's some kind of a nylon or a polyester that you can wash easily, and also when it's packed, you can pack it and it's that big. Okay? You pack by rolling, by the way.
it's wrinkle-free.
And it's wrinkle-free. So that's handy.
We have them on sale this week for
Call 1-800.
Shoes. So shoes, you'd want 3 things, really. Maybe you could do 2. You want your hiking boots, and then you want some kind of a camp shoe. So something that you can shower in, that it can get wet, that you can walk around in camp. You can walk around the city in it. So does anyone have Keens? You know what Keens are? Keens are a type.
It's a
It's like a sandal shoe, but
the toes covered.
the toes are covered. This is something else, which is I'll
Is it
take it
Merrell's?
off.
I think they're Merrell's.
We like these because it's essentially mesh. The whole thing is mesh. It's all like a plastic fiber, so we can shower in these, and you can be in camp just with your bare feet
And
in
they
these.
also have a version that we had where the bottom you can fold down. It's like a flip
It's like a
flop
slip-on,
thing.
the version you have goes you can fold it like that, so you can slip it on. But these are really handy. These are so nice. These Merrells, I can go running in them, so they're also my running shoes. And then if you want one other, a nice pair of flip-flops or something, if you want to wear a skirt or a dress in the evening, so you can wear a nice pair of flip-flops, or just around the hotel grounds or something like that. So those are small and lightweight flip-flops, a camp shoe, and your hiking shoes. Those are the Keen type sports sandals. So we got the shoes. So we were in the savannah, then you're in the forest, and again, you're going to want those layers. I think you're in Nyungwe. Is there anything else? Oh, rainwear. So we are going to Rwanda during there's 2 seasons in Rwanda. There's the wet season and the really wet season. We're going in the wet season, so it's not that wet. I mean, it might rain a couple of times, but we're not going to be soaked all the time as in the other seasons. You do want to buy some kind of a shell. So that's the last layer. You had the undershirt layer, you had the long sleeve shirt, you had a fleece. When we start getting to the cold areas, your undershirt will be a long sleeve undershirt. Be sure and make sure that's a wicking undershirt. This really matters, especially in the cold areas. It's some kind of a wicking cloth. Again, you can buy these kind. But then you need that outer shell. It's all on here as well, somewhere in there. That's your last layer, and some kind of a rain shell that you're going to use, especially in the rainforest and the volcanoes.
Some people use ponchos, which are okay. You can use that.
No.
Because
No.
you have to reback them and they get moldy
No,
and
yeah.
nasty.
We always have a poncho in the bottom of our backpack. If it's really, really pouring, and we want to cover not only ourselves but our backpack. Then we'll put, these are 50 cents at a camping store. Then we'll pull out a poncho and cover everything.
But also plastic bags.
Or plastic bag is
Garbage
a poncho.
bag.
But this is so a good shell that you can use as the as water protection, and then you will also need a good pair of some kind of rain pant, a technical pant. Pass these around. These are great. They're really lightweight. You can zip them off and on. So you will wear, like when you're hiking up to the gorillas, you'll hike up in regular pants. But then as you get into the nettles and into the forest and get closer to the gorillas, you're going to want to slip these on top because these protect you from the nettles. Okay? Nettles will go through your pants, but they won't go through this. And also the vegetation is wet. And you're going to be sitting and climbing and rolling and, all over the place. You want to stay dry. So these are very handy. And they're called either technical pants or ski pants.
Not the.
But just not thermal,
not the hot
insulated.
ones, not the insulated ones.
Yeah, and just make sure that they have the zippers at the bottom so you can get them over your boots. And these you just pack up. So every day you go out to the gorillas, you'll be carrying this in your backpack as well as your shell, waterproof shell. Okay, with a hood. All right. I think we're almost done. Optional to bring a multi-tool. There's one. That's a good one. Those are just handy. Things are always breaking and you're always fixing stuff.
Especially for tents.
Or a
But you have to check it.
Check it.
yeah.
Bring
Be
that.
sure and check it. Or a Swiss
Yeah,
Army
or
knife
just a
or something
knife
like that. That's handy
Just
to have.
remember to check.
You don't. I mean, you don't have to get one because between all of us,
Yeah,
we
you
will
don't
have
need-
them. So don't feel like you have to go out and spend. How much was yours? Like $80 or something. Yeah. Duct tape or Gorilla Tape, very useful. Some kind of fun thing to do, like cards, or some people bring instruments or a book for when you have downtime. Ziploc bags, stuff sacks, really useful. It's just your way of organizing in your suitcase. Just buy a couple of stuff sacks so this is my underwear bag and this is my dirty clothes bag and this is my nice clothes for when I'm in the city or something. So it's just good for organizing, and they don't take much room. They're super cheap. Laundry bag, which would be one of those, or a pillowcase. The nylon cord so that you can make your own laundry line. The mosquito netting is optional because most, they are required to have mosquito netting over every bed. In some of the tents, the mosquito netting might be messed up, but that's what either the duct tape is for or you just add a little piece of mosquito netting. So don't feel, these are on the optional list. And then any electronics you want to bring. If you own a GPS already, bring it because we will teach you how to use it and you'll become expert with your own GPS if you're not already. Since you have that tool, we will have a couple of GPSs that you can use. We'll rotate, we won't have one for everybody, but we'll rotate around so you learn how to use that tool. Any electronics you want to bring, be sure and bring an adapter. You don't need to buy the entire adapter kit. In fact, when you buy adapter kits, they generally give you, for every country in the world, but in Rwanda, they use the European two-prong. So if you could just get that.
They're round.
They're
prongs.
round two prongs, yeah.
Each of them is round.
Yeah. On the other hand, if you buy an adapter kit, you can use it for the rest of your life, right? So just know that you only need to bring the two prongs. Okay. And then finally, if you have little postcards or pens or small journals, little gifts to give to people, it's always appreciated. Some of the field staff that you'll meet that you really grow close to, or people that you just want to thank. We generally kind of pool it all together and then decide how to distribute it among the folks that we're working with for the month. If you have something like that, that'd be nice. I think that's it. we will be giving you one of these T-shirts. Designed by a student. And you will be getting one of those patches. And we'll go, next time we'll go over all that in terms of how to get those, and we'll send out a Google Doc so you can put in your size, because we'll be getting that together fairly soon so that you can have that next time we meet. Okay, so we went through a whole ton of stuff. That's why that document's really long, right? Okay, so
Questions?
it's open for questions now, but know that as you start buying stuff, you're also going to probably have questions. So, you know, questions later are okay as well. But any questions for now? Just overwhelm you? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It's not exactly about the equipment, but usually, what hours are we like going to bed and waking up at?
We get up.
Depends on where we are.
It depends, but usually we have breakfast at
4:30.
7. That's your schedule. We usually have breakfast at 7, and we're gone for the field at 8. Then so you know, whatever time we try to make sure lights are out by 10.
Okay.
And then we come back for lunch. We usually have a little bit of downtime after lunch, like siesta, if you're tired, or if you need to do laundry or something. You know, we'll do that.
But there's some exceptions. When we're at Nyungwe, we want to go see chimps. We have
That's
to
like-
probably get up by 4
4.
o'clock,
Yeah.
because the chimps get up early. You want
Yeah,
to be there
chimps
when
get
they
up very
up.
early. So it
That's-
depends on what
Exactly.
primate we're
Right,
seeing.
exactly.
Yeah, it just depends.
Or how far away they are.
Yeah,
You have to get up earlier if you want to get there.
right. So early mornings.
So it means usually earlier lights up than you might be accustomed.
Yeah.
But when we're, in Kigali, just hanging out for a few days, then you can burn the midnight oil if you want.
Yeah.
Do you bring like toilet paper or?
No, we get all that there.
No need to-
Yeah, and we carry around what we call the cat bag, which is
No need to buy that 200 roll Costco.
right when you buy
Pallet.
those 300
Don't need to
hats.
buy a pallet.
Yeah, pallet. And we have a community cat bag, which is a bag that has a little shovel, has toilet paper, has hand sanitizer, so that we're always prepared. Did you have a question?
Yeah, so then no jeans then, right? Just pretty much like
Yes,
hiking
thank you.
pants
And then
and then
against jeans.
slacks if we
Well,
want.
Yeah.
you can't bring jeans for if you wanna just when you're in Kigali, just like chill there. But I wouldn't recommend it because it's just extra weight that you don't need.
It's a lot of weight, and then to wash them and to have them
Slow to
even
dry.
slow to
Right.
dry, really a pain. So,
And they won't protect you from nettles in the room.
yeah. So it's not even helpful that way.
But then when we get to the valley, though, you said the like black slacks is appropriate.
Yeah, any kind of slacks. Field pants is appropriate too. Just not short shorts or, I know tights are a big thing here. It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Yeah. A long skirt. I have a field skirt that's a long skirt, or pants works fine.
Black slacks?
Or
Sure.
capri pants or something like that.
And if you wear contacts, will you be able to do that? I mean, I have glasses too, but.
Yeah. No, we've
A lot
had
of
people
people
with
use
contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You will always have bottled water if you need that, and then you have your saline and stuff too.
You can-
And then just always, hand wipes are just really. And I would recommend the actual wipes and not the liquid. Liquid tends to burst open always. I don't know why. And then even if you put the liquid on, you always want to wipe dirt off. So you'll end up doing this. Yeah.
So what would you recommend as far as like when we're traveling, because we're going to several airports,
Mhm.
to like call our parents and let them know like we're okay, like because we're not going to get that phone until we get there.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's that.
Well, that's where texting comes in.
If you have your
If you
own.
have text capacity.
If you have your
Right.
phone that's international, talk to your service and tell them that you're going for a specific period of time. You want international texting, and then that you're always safe, because no matter where you are, you will use that, and it will be like 25 cents a text. So you don't want to send hundreds of texts, but at least you have the ability to communicate.
and that way we
Having
can
communication. Hi. Having communication is really important. Hi there. Did we
Hi.
prop open a door?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we
Oh,
have an
this
alarm.
one.
I
Oops.
take it it's hot in here. So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll let them know. You guys will be here. What time are you guys secure?
We'll probably leave in the next 30.
Yeah, next 30
Yeah.
minutes.
I'll let them know.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Sorry. There was something else you said that made me. Oh, for traveling, always have a set of clothes in here. Have some clean underwear, another shirt, something that you would feel comfortable wearing the next day, because just count on your luggage not getting there. We very rarely have that problem. We've
Well,
only
if
had
you're
it.
flying Brussels, you're not going to have that.
You're not gonna, but just in case, it's always a good idea. This is part of learning how to travel internationally. Is always in your backpack carry what medications you need. Always have that on you. Any jewelry that you don't want to get lost. Any electronic equipment, and some fresh clothes that you need. I always carry a little.
Toothbrush and toothpaste.
Yeah, I carry a mini toiletry set, which just has those travel toothbrushes. The disposable ones. Some of those, some face wipes, things like that. Because it's amazing how dirty you get on international flights. Because the air, it's just amazing how dirty it's and nasty. So, anything else?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, good.
This might be too open for some people, but feminine products.
Yeah. Bring them. Oh, and I was going to have a girl session separately, but that's okay. He's a son. That doesn't matter. It's okay. You can leave. No, first of all, you can get fit. Well, you should know this by now.
Sorry, guys.
You can get feminine products there, but I would totally bring them. You don't want the hassle of having to go to the store and get them. So bring them. Yeah, just count on bringing that. Yep. But in worst case scenario, you can get them there. But if you're in the middle of the savannah, there's not a shop there.
Right.
So. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah.
So on the savannah, are there bathrooms anywhere, or
Yeah, there are.
because that's pretty flat? I feel
Yeah.
like.
Our camp has latrines.
Okay.
They do. They have male and female latrines.
Okay.
So you do have an actual bathroom there, and then in the field is when you would use the cat bag.
I think we're using the fancy showers.
We have, it's very special. We have a tent that is a shower.
I've used one of those.
Yeah,
Great.
very nice.
Very fancy.
And we have solar shower bags, so you'll get, count on a shower every 2 days, 3 days maybe.
After hiking.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
that's in the savannah. But when we're at the other locations, you will have regular
Be in a
bathrooms.
hotel. the rest of it.
No, not a hotel.
What?
Field station.
Well, it's like a hotel.
It's a house.
The field
Yeah,
station
you have
has
bathrooms and showers.
Yeah, it has bathrooms and
hot
showers.
water,
So you're only
yeah.
camping, which is good because, we love camping, but if you've never been camping, it's hard to do a whole month of it. But to do a week of it, you really understand then how to camp after you're done with that, but it's not the whole month of doing it.
So the hotel, what does that have? Because I noticed that there was mosquito netting for the beds.
Yes.
So what did the hotels consist of?
The hotels are quite nice. We stay, Chez Lando is our favorite place to
Chez
stay in
Lando's
Kigali.
really nice.
Kigali, it's like our other home away from home. It's very nice. It's got nice grounds, wonderful food.
The people are
Very
really
safe.
Nice too. The
There's
staff is really, really nice.
staff is very good, and you have 2 beds, and each bed has a net over it. So
So they're really bad mosquitoes.
no, they're not. It's
No.
just that it's a requirement. The government wants to make sure that they eliminate malaria, and so they've required all hotels to have mosquito nets. That's how they're keeping malaria down. Now it can't spread, right?
Because if one person gets infected,
They can,
right, it's passed on.
right? Yeah,
Sends another mosquito that bites that person,
carries it. Yeah,
malaria to the next person. So
Right.
that's the problem. So if you keep the incidence down, you get rid of malaria.
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are we going to be sharing hotel rooms?
Yes, yeah, you will be sharing hotel rooms, mostly 2 beds. Occasionally, if something goes wrong in the hotel, you'll have a queen bed that you share with someone, but you will be sharing rooms, yeah. But guys are separate from girls.
How many guys are going?
4 plus the 2 field assistants. Might be 3. The 3 guys might I think one guy says he may not be
Joel?
able to come. No, Joel is coming. So yeah, it's mostly girls. It's usually mostly girls. Girls make good observers. Not that you're a bad observer. Or Dita's a great observer. But those are exceptions. So anything else yet?
So like on equipment and our clothing and stuff like that, how much would you say we should expect to be spending?
Well,
Depends on where you shop.
yeah, I would.
I mean, your biggest ticket item is might be your boots. I mean, the
Boots and
biggest single-
binoculars.
Yeah, that's right. Those two. You know, because you want to get decent binoculars and decent boots. You know, for
Do you
obvious
have like
reasons.
anything similar to anything that we have?
Yeah, I have a couple of Under Armour stuff.
Good.
That's good.
That's good.
So you don't need to buy
A pair of
anything.
rain pants, definitely need that, and a rain shell. And again, you know, these, it might be this time of year that they're trying to get rid of their snow equipment. You don't want the real thick stuff, but just, you know,
Just
and
a
they're
water-
even called
just a
rain
waterproof
pants.
shell is really
Yeah.
all you need.
Yeah. So that might be 30,
I
50,
mean,
$60.
You know,
And then all the undershirts and t-shirts, you can get those at Target or something. But then these guys, they can be kind of expensive, probably $30, $20 to $30 for a shirt like this. I would only get 2 of them, 3 at the most, at the most. But these are really useful. And then everything else is just all.
it can be a little scary, you know, because you can rack up a bill. But if you look around for sales and you kind of look at the different stores, you know, you don't have to get the best name brands.
Yeah.
We've learned that over the years. You don't have to do that. So you can save hugely by just looking around for good deals. The Sportsman's Warehouse is good.
Check
And
Savers
REI, if
twice
you
a
catch
month.
them on sale that first week in June, you can pick up some good stuff. Big Five is pretty good. Then also Walmart,
Walmart,
has some pretty decent
Miller's.
stuff. Miller's Outpost is the other.
Yeah.
So just kind of take a look around, you know,
And then
or even
buy-
online. You know, Catmore.
Oh, Campbell.
Catmore is that's on that document. Catmore, if you look at their website, they're really cheap. You know, and there's enough time if you identify some stuff.
Yeah. That's why we like
You
doing
know,
this in April. You
you-
can start
You
shopping.
can get it online fairly quickly and save yourself a bundle. So
Yeah.
check them out too.
But don't be afraid to go to like a Target, try one of the
Exactly.
shirts, go running in it, something. If you don't like it, if it bothers you or if it smells, then you know not to get that kind. And you can take them back. I'm ruthless about taking stuff back. Underwear, by the way, very important. Guys, boxers are really good because they dry quickly. Girls, try to get a polyester, maybe with a little bit of cotton in the crotch area, but try to get polyester because I'm constantly washing underwear. If you are going to spend money on underwear, there are specifically travel underwear at REI or Summit Hut. They're like $12 a pair, and they are awesome. If you want to spend your money somewhere,
Makes those
binoculars.
so much better, though.
They're comfortable and they do dry fast. But I've done for a couple of years. It's hard to find, but completely polyester stuff, polyester underwear, like at Walmart or at Target. It's actually hard to find just polyester. It took me a while to find that. It's like $5 for 3 pairs or something. Dries quickly, and I just bought a bunch of them so that I'm always got fresh underwear. Probably too much information there, but I think that's
Jeff, you
for a
have it?
shell. This is polyester.
we have
This
another
very
question.
small, thin.
Was there any
Yeah.
type of like special socks? Or-
Oh, you want
Wool.
you
The
don't
light
want
wool.
cotton.
Light wool is
A light wool, and then what really I think is worth it is you can get these sock liners. I didn't bring them, but do you use those? I use those a lot. I use them a lot. They're often used for skiing, but they're like a very thin
Microfiber.
white sock.
It's microfiber, isn't it? I think.
Well, I don't know what, but it's they're called liners, sock liners. But it's a first sock that you put on. It's very thin, kind of like a dress sock, that thinness. They're usually white, and they're often used, like I said, for skiing. And then you put your wool
Prevent
blend,
blistering.
and then you don't get blisters. I mean, it really helps a lot, because then you prevent the heating up from blistering.
Foot powder is also good too.
Do you use foot powder? I don't like foot powder.
Foot
Really?
powder if you don't want like a problem with your feet. If your feet sweat a lot,
Oh,
I
if
use
your
foot
feet
powder.
sweat.
It prevents blisters. It prevents like any sort of foot fungus. That's what I used when I was a firefighter and in basic training. It works.
Okay.
Works.
My feet don't sweat, so I've never had that issue. But okay.
I'm just saying, we're hiking around.
Okay. Yeah. So I think, and even like these Keens or these kind of shoes, you can get equipped those type of shoes at a Target or a Walmart. The idea is just to cover your toes, because if you're walking in the savannah, there's stickers and things like that, or you don't want to get a sticker go through your toe. So somehow have the end covered, and then have it be waterproof so that you can walk through water, take a shower in it, and use it that way. And then it's also just a good all-around shoe for just walking in town and things like that. So that's a lot, guys.
What's your opinion on bringing cameras?
We do. The cameras are great.
I
What
have,
we
I have
do-
a good one, and I just don't know if I should bring it.
Totally bring it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are
Like,
going
I'd
to.
like to get cool pictures.
Sure.
If you,
Yeah,
this is
it's
an
worth it.
opportunity
It's
of
definitely
a
worth it,
lifetime.
Yeah.
This is
You
what
have one,
cameras
sure.
were born for.
Okay.
Okay.
I just didn't know if we were
Do
supposed
it,
to
and-
take pictures.
No,
no,
we
no.
we
Okay.
do restrict cameras. For example, when we go observe, the first 30 minutes at least, no cameras.
Okay.
We want you to just observe, right? And besides, those first pictures you're going to throw away, I can tell you. Because once you observe, you know where to start looking to take a picture anyway, and you get kind of you understand the situation better. So probably for the first 30 minutes, whenever we encounter primates, there will be no taking pictures.
It's also, in reference to what Nancy said earlier, we don't want to appear like tourists.
Yeah.
So research first, then pictures.
Right.
Okay.
And you end up with better pictures anyway.
Okay.
And often, if someone turns out, when we'll quickly realize this, that someone has nice equipment or a really good eye, then we do have an agreement at the beginning, and we'll all sign on to it, that we share pictures. You cannot use someone else's pictures for anything other than your personal use. So you still own the picture. But the reason is that we can't all get to the right exact perfect position, and we don't want to have to be competing all the time. It works so much better if we say, you know what, these three people have a good eye and they've got good equipment, so we put you in the right position. You get the good pictures, but then we share them on Photo Bucket or something, so that people have that moment captured for themselves, but no one else can use them or sell them or any of that stuff. You can still use them and sell them if you want to sell them.
Can you not have flash when you're with the primates?
We don't recommend flash. They're used to it. Flash isn't going to help anyway. It's not going to help. And
Definitely
with
not
gorillas,
the
I
gorillas.
turn it off. Yeah. So you'll probably end up turning it off. Rather recommend it. It does sometimes scare them. Yeah. Yeah. But I use a little
We'll
point and
break the
shoot.
camera for you.
Yeah. I use a little point and shoot, and I've always thought of investing in something bigger. I just can't carry more stuff. I'm carrying lots of different things, but we're also carrying video cameras, so that we're capturing video too. Okay. All right.
Other questions?
Thank you. I know that was a lot, but no, that was an okay.
Oh.
I wanted to say too that you have mentioned that